Good. Yeah, I'm from Arada, like probably Heikka mentioned, and I experienced a software adventure in Oslo, and I wanted to really share it with you guys also. And I was called in a team at Oslo, like Heikka was saying. They were building actually this kind of thing. I cannot go too in business details in there, but basically it was a box which takes data in. There's some magic happening in there, and it has the data into a different external systems. And how they had actually done it there, before I went there, was that there was persons taking part. Like I should do this adapter part, I will do this API part, and there's a person who in data processing. Does that sound familiar for you? At least that kind of stuff I have experienced earlier, quite easily. That we have this thing, you could do that, I could do that, what if you do that? I think it feels like quite normal. I've seen probably too much about it also. How many of you have seen that kind of thing? Everyone. Have you even have a thought what could be challenges regarding this thing, of doing these kind of things? So basically I just pointed out some things. What I actually recognized there was that people started to be really like specialists. I'm a specialist on doing integration with this system. I'm a specialist on processing the data. I'm a specialist on this API part, getting data in. There was a lot of pieces which was done basically independently, not like doing stuff together much. And then when you do things, you basically have your own box. You start to like build it, make it the best box ever, like the perfect box. And actually the whole architecture is not that aligned together that much. Just to name like few things. I guess you can come up some others which we can discuss after the presentation. But what we actually did there was that we actually went in the meeting room, started discussing together that, okay, we have all these pieces, what would really bring business value? Why we are building this whole thing? And we actually found out this green line here. We had also a business person there showing the business view on it. Because there was a lot of different paths to go on, but we ended up that this will actually bring the business value, and this would be like the easiest thing to build fast. So we went into the meeting room, really this was actually something I took regarding more programming. We a bit talked about that, and then we can go in more detail, but this was a bit influenced. I know that Ville is going to give another speech also, had that kind of approach in one of your customers. You went in a room, had a meeting room there, and then one laptop, you started coding. But it was not that much like more programming in that sense that there was one person, a bit more time, and then it's more discussion together and starting building it and how we could aim. And also like started first in here finding the MVP in that sense that we thought that, okay, this API part is something that we need to start. We need to start putting stuff in the service bus. That would be the least thing, first thing what we need to do. And also in there finding like how we could get the data in and the service bus. Nothing, no details there more. Because you can really get carried away getting API, stuff in API, start validating it, checking that, okay, is the data valid, and thinking all these crazy scenarios, what could happen. And what we actually do for those, we had actually Slack channel called To Do, and whenever we found out that, we pushed it in there and took it later. But then we did the same thing for the whole thing, actually. First getting it to service bus, and then the rest of part. So we aim to get really fast, like the full flow. And through that, we achieved something like this. We really like getting the business value faster to get the production, that small thing. And then also there was like the whole architecture was done together. There wasn't any discussion that, why did someone agree this? Hey, you guys, we actually did this together. So there is no discussion that, okay, somebody decided behind me that this should be like this way. Hey, no, it was you guys. We did it together. And then there wasn't any specialized thing in that sense that if someone would be taken away from there, the thing wouldn't like collapse. Because someone else could take part of doing some other stuff. Everyone basically knows what is there in the whole big picture. And then there was also things like when you build a small box, you do quite a lot of guessing that, okay, when I integrate to this external system, there is an interface, I just put stuff in there, it will work fine. You're like basically satisfied when you have sent the data in. But there wasn't any like really testing that what happened in the external system when you get data in. Did it really do the things what we wanted? Did we put correct data in? So that kind of thing was also changed. We tried it more like really opening up that external system, although it could feel so horrible old stuff or something like really scary that I don't want to set it up that locally or get anything access in there. But that actually made development a lot nicer when you went in there, see that, okay, that thing should update differently when I push this thing in. And then you just like start to verify through that. And that's also somehow like TDD. In some level, you could think it doesn't have to be that TDD means that you will write a code which will do automated testing. You could also do it manually beforehand. Just to like, it's more like verify yourself that, okay, this is the thing what we want to do. And then also there was things happening like people started to get more motivated somehow. I don't know, that happened. That there was new tools, like we started pretty straightforward and pushing stuff when we do the deployments, but then with like some guy, yeah, let's try Octopus. Let's put it in there, and things like that came around like more like, there wasn't no one outside deciding that you should use now Octopus. It was coming from the team because they just kept that, okay, it would be nice to actually try out this one and do it. But I think this is my message. Do stuff together. Don't be in your own box. Start doing it together. But it's hard. It's hard. I know it's so much easier to go in your cubicle and start working on the own small thing because it's so much easier. And you have your own world there, which is perfect. But it's also nice to do stuff together. Thanks. Yep.
What do you find the most hardest thing to do together, let's say?
To get, or
yeah. And what was the main time waster or something?
It was really hard to like be strict. What is the thing what we aim for? Because it's so hard to be carried away when doing something small. I like it nowadays is a great technical challenge that how to really solve this, but it might not give that much business value at that point. So really like, let's be focused. And also what was good that people were focusing on the same target, the whole thing.
If you think about, like, let's say, bigger companies where there are tens of developers and so forth, and we build something big, isn't it so often that we organize according to components, the teams?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, this was in a smaller case.
Organizing them by features, we organize them by components.
Yeah.
Which leads to the silos in that sense, probably.
Yeah.
Not always, of course, and sometimes you need to have it by component. It's a very special one, but you at least think that when should we have feature teams?
Yeah, I think it goes like, yeah, actually.
How do you feel microservices fit into this? Aren't they like isolation of small parts, like the adapter microservice guy?
Yeah, but I think the microservice in that sense, it's probably that is giving some kind of business value when you're building that microservice. I think it of course depends where you put the microservice, but I think it would be great to have that the microservice brings some business value and that would be fitting in there. But of course there could be like, you have a bigger thing and then you have to have 2 microservices to really build it. So there might be of course a challenge. But then it might not be bad if you would work together still. 2 microservices, discuss together.
So they actually work together.
Yeah, yeah. In the end, yeah.
Utopia.
I think this kind of a project, I think it's even maybe more important with microservices in a way that if you build a service and in 1 or 2 months somebody sends you the first message that, where's the feedback, just very happy with it.
Yeah.
It's integrated.
In every service, in the microservice, actually, it should provide business value.
Yeah, if you didn't see the video that was circling around last week was from, who's the guy?
Greg Young.
Greg Young, yeah, this top speaker. He was talking about sort of scoping your code in such a way that it's actually microservices within, even if you're dealing with a monolith, with a big chunk of, or a big system. Just architecture it so that it's easy to rewrite components like they were microservices. Like the maximum size is that it will take you a week to rewrite a sort of service or component inside the system. And I think that's a pretty good way to go. And also you can learn a lot from microservices even though you're actually working with monoliths or bigger systems.
Yeah.
But yeah, something good to strive towards.
I think this monolith as such, for me, is a bit confusing term. Now seems to come up as the opposite of microservices. That it's a monolith. What they mean is a monolith that you deploy as a monolith.
Yeah.
But still you can have it consist of modular pieces, lots of different kinds of things that then are collected together for deployment.
Yeah.
So it can be, very much something else than a monolith on your development
On the
station.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the talk that you mentioned, the great young talk about also objects are something that could be thought as a microservice or just one component that you can rewrite in a week. And the idea was that it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if it's a show or microservice or object or anything, but you should aim that there is only 1 week time to do some new feature. So you can rewrite it in a week.
And if you put your kind of external dependencies behind some interfaces and not spread them all around your code, then you get to this direction.
Yeah. All right.
Good.
That's all. Let's move on. Thanks, Anssi.